So this is my first vlog, and it's about arranged marriages. Um, Arranged marriages are really common in Asian culture. I know it's common in mine. I'm Bengali, and the concept usually is that young people don't know about relationships. The experts are the elders or their parents, and parents usually have the best interests in mind. So starting from when their daughter is young, they start thinking about, oh, who will I get my daughter married to? And it's usually like, I know people come up with like relatives they know, or they get phone calls. If someone knows they have a daughter, they get phone calls and they're like, hey, are you ready to give your daughter up? Like, oh, I really like your family, and I know your daughter is really good. She's good looking. She cooks well. She can do this, that. Do you really want to get her married? And it's like, that's how it is, I guess, kind of. Well, back then they didn't really have phone calls like that. It was more like face to face. Um, but I know my parents got an arranged marriage, my grandparents got an arranged marriage, my great grandparents got an arranged marriage, and no doubt every generation before that. Um, I guess in society really has a big impact on people getting married and who they get married to, in these traditions, because elders usually know the best. So you don't want to disobey them by getting out of the marriage. So couples after they get married, they usually stick together, and no doubt if they already have a child, it's like premarital sex is not acceptable. So it's really divorce is really uncommon. Maybe now it's more common, but back then it wasn't. Um, I guess you could say there's stuff like Facebook and Google and all this technology that has changed arranged marriage and how this thing goes about. I know I'm probably not going to get an arranged marriage. I know my sister isn't, but she has been getting proposals. Like, people call my dad up and be like, hey, what's up? Are you planning on getting your daughter married soon? And that's how it was. And it's like they would send bio data, and bio data is like, it says what the guy does, what his parents do, um, what his brother does, what his brother-in-law does, and it says all the stuff for you to evaluate this whole family and decide whether or not you want to get married into the family. And it's a pretty big deal. But technology has changed stuff so much, and it's like, this one time my sister got this biodata, and my mom was telling her to look into it, and she looked the guy up on Facebook, and she was like, wow, this guy looks really old, he has no hair, and now girls have a choice. Back then it wasn't like that, and the patriarchal society is definitely changing and giving girls more rights these days. I think arranged marriages are like going downhill, and girls have more of a choice. Um, I don't want to say that arranged marriages are like guaranteed, but it's the concept usually is that you learn to love someone, and when you live with someone, you usually adapt to their ways. You learn how to make them happy, how to not get them mad, and usually things work out. And they say you have your parents' blessings, and that's how it usually gets started off. So it'll all be fine. Um, I guess it's pretty ridiculous in other cultures when they think about arranged marriage and they're like, ew, you want to get married to someone you've never seen in your life? You don't know how they are. But to Asians, or should I say like South Asians, and Indians, they're like, um, what's the point if you already know someone? When you get married, it's gonna be so boring and uninteresting. But like, to me, it's like, if I get married to someone I don't know, the bright side will be I'll get to know them. I have my whole life to get to know them because I don't plan to get out of the marriage. But the not so bright side would be if, what if he snores at night and I can't sleep? Little stuff like that. What if he has a really bad temper? What if he's like this and I can't do this? And what if he doesn't let me go get a job? What if he wants me to have kids when I don't want to have kids? And stuff like that. But that's like stuff my parents overcame, my grandparents overcame, and their marriages worked out. And I guess I want to say that times have changed. Arranged marriage is not that common anymore, not as common as it used to be. And even in the cultures that they were common in, it's developed and it's changed because of all this technology. And that's a good thing. I guess this is the end of my vlog.